Let's get started with our first news. New footage has emerged of Paddy Pimblett and Ilya running into each other in Qatar. Earlier this year, fans were shocked when a clip showed the two crossing paths without any drama. But this new video is completely different, and things unfolded exactly how you'd expect between two long-standing rivals. Pimblett and Ilya have been feuding for years, trading insults in interviews and on social media. So, when they shook hands at the ceremonial weigh-ins for UFC London back in March, people were genuinely surprised. But a lot has changed since then. Ilya now holds the UFC lightweight title, and if Pimblett beats Justin Gaethje in January to claim the interim belt, the two could finally collide in 2026. With everything that has happened, the days of them being even remotely cordial seem long gone. Recently, Pimblett shared a new video showing their latest encounter in Qatar. It starts casual enough. You hear people saying, "Come around this way, man. I'm all good. I'm all good." Then, "What's up, bro? How are you today?" Followed by a tense, "All good. Yeah, man. Okay. But underneath the polite greetings, the tension is obvious. After the clip, Pimblett added his own comments, saying the funny thing about Ilya is that he only ever tries to act tough when Pimblett is on his own. And Ilya is surrounded by a big group. According to Pimblett, Ilya didn't actually try to do anything in Qatar. He just walked toward him while being about 20 man deep. This latest footage shows that whatever temporary peace they had is done. With both men potentially fighting for gold in the near future, their rivalry is heating up just in time. Move on to another news. Charles Oliveira has officially shut down a swirling UFC rumor that had fans buzzing all weekend. Recently, a supposed leak from UFC Brazil created a massive wave online. They tweeted out what looked like a confirmed fight announcement for UFC 324, claiming that Oliveira and Max Holloway were set to collide for the BMF title. The tweet was deleted almost immediately, but by then, the internet had already gone wild. Shortly after, a reporter revealed that this matchup was actually the original planned main event for UFC 324, but something happened behind the scenes, and UFC Brazil simply forgot to delete the scheduled announcement. Now, Oliveira himself has stepped in to clear everything up. Earlier today, he posted a video on his Instagram story addressing the situation directly. In the translated clip, he calmly explained that nothing has been confirmed regarding his next fight. He emphasized that he is currently on vacation with his family, and that all the talk about him facing Holloway in January is completely premature. According to him, the constant calls, tags, and messages over the last few days have been nonstop, but he wanted to make it crystal clear. The fight is not happening in January. However, Oliveira did confirm something important. He stated that the fight with Holloway will happen. He wants it, Max wants it, and fans want it as well. He said that the two sides are already working on the contract, and that, realistically, the fight is more likely to take place around March or April. Right now, they're simply waiting for the final details to come together. Oliveira added that if there are rumors circulating, it usually means something is happening behind the scenes, but it's just not happening at this exact moment. His message was straightforward and confident. He reassured fans that updates are coming soon and that they can expect real news once the contract is finalized. For now, though, the January date is completely off the table, with Oliveira taking time to reset with his family and the negotiations reportedly progressing. The anticipation for this potential BMF showdown continues to build. The situation is developing, but one thing is certain. When the announcement finally drops, it's going to be big. Move on to another news. Khamzat has officially responded to a recent post from Alex Pereira, and the MMA community is once again in full speculation mode. A couple of days ago, we talked about a cryptic message Pereira posted online. The caption simply read, 2 + 1 =, followed by an image that many fans interpreted in different ways. Some believed he was hinting at his title defenses, suggesting that he had already secured 2 and was on his way to a 3rd. Others thought the message implied something much bigger, like the possibility of him vacating his current title in order to make a full move up to heavyweight. The post quickly went viral. Fans, analysts, and fighters were all trying to decode what Pereira meant. With the kind of momentum he has built, and considering how willing he has been to jump between divisions, nobody would be surprised if he made another massive move in 2025. The idea of him entering the heavyweight division has already fueled endless debates, with some calling it an insane possibility and others calling it inevitable. But then things took a sharp turn when Khamzat decided to jump into the conversation. For reasons unknown, he commented on Pereira's post with the phrase -1. The response came out of nowhere. No explanation, no added context, nothing. Just -1. And that single comment sent the community into another frenzy. People began speculating all over again. Was Khamzat mocking Pereira's math? Was he implying that whatever Pereira is planning is a step backward? Was he suggesting that Pereira's next move won't matter if they eventually meet inside the octagon? Or was he simply trolling for fun, the way he does from time to time? Whatever the meaning, the timing of the comment instantly reignited the constant fantasy matchup talk between these two. Fans have wanted to see Pereira versus Khamzat for a long time. The idea of their styles colliding, Pereira's power and precision against Khamzat's relentless pressure, has always had people imagining a truly explosive fight. With both men sitting in unique positions in their careers, and with Pereira teasing major moves while Khamzat continues to keep his name in big conversations, the tension between them refuses to fade. Khamzat's -1 comment might seem small, but in a sport where even a single emoji can spark headlines, this was more than enough to keep the buzz going. Whether it leads anywhere or not, their rivalry continues to simmer in the background, and moments like this only make it even hotter. Move on to another news. Renato Moicano is calling out Arman and blaming him for the chaos surrounding the lightweight division. The fallout from the UFC's decision to book Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett for the interim lightweight title continues, and in Moicano's view, everything that has unfolded can be traced back to one moment: Arman pulling out of UFC 311. According to Moicano, that single decision threw the entire division into complete disarray. With Pimblett and Gaethje now set to fight for the interim belt at UFC 324, plenty of fans and fighters have voiced their frustration, and Moicano is very much one of them. Recently, he appeared on the Stand Me Up podcast, where he argued that Pimblett's resume simply does not justify a title shot. He pointed out that Pimblett has not beaten a legitimate contender inside the top 15, listing the names on Paddy's record and questioning whether any of them truly strengthen his case. He said Pimblett beat Michael Chandler, who was coming off multiple losses, then Tony Ferguson, who had been on a brutal losing streak, and Bobby Green, who had also been struggling. To Moicano, none of that screams title challenger. But Moicano didn't stop there. He went further, linking the current mess directly to Arman's late withdrawal from his scheduled title fight with Islam Makhachev back in January. That change led to Moicano stepping in on short notice and ultimately losing to the champion. According to him, if Arman had fought that night, the division would have continued moving forward smoothly. Instead, everything stalled. Then, with Ilia dealing with personal issues and stepping away temporarily, the timing became even more tangled. In Moicano's words, the UFC putting together Pimblett versus Gaethje for an interim belt feels wrong. He believes the winner will be nothing more than a paper champ, because as soon as Ilia returns, he will reclaim the lightweight throne without question. He emphasized that the interim belt does not represent an undisputed championship, and the situation makes little sense to him. The delays, the cancellations, and the reshuffling have all built up into a scenario he says could have been avoided if the original title fight had happened as planned. Whether that's fair or not, the frustration is real, and Moicano is not hiding it. Arman's withdrawal undeniably left him in a difficult position with both fans and the UFC. Even though he bounced back with a strong win over Dan Hooker at UFC Qatar, some believe he's still climbing out of that shadow. Move on to another news. Michael Chandler has finally revealed why he didn't call out Conor at RAF 3, and according to him, the explanation is as simple as it gets. Chandler said people have been messaging him non-stop, asking why he didn't grab the mic and fire off another call-out at Conor, especially with all the hype surrounding their long-awaited fight. But Chandler made it clear that, in his mind, doing that at a wrestling event would have made zero sense. He explained that yes, he had the microphone in his hand. Yes, the energy was high, the adrenaline was pumping, the crowd was roaring, and he was sweating with the moment. But even with all that intensity, he said he was never going to call out Conor in the middle of a wrestling match. To him, that simply wasn't the right platform. He's already called Conor out countless times, and more importantly, he said that the fight is already done. In his words, the matchup has been signed, sealed, and delivered. since June of 2024. Chandler explained that Conor has already brought in training partners specifically to mimic his style. He emphasized that both sides want the fight, both sides have agreed to it, and Conor has already committed to making good on his word. According to Chandler, the plan is set for June of 2026, and nothing about that has changed. Because of that, he felt there was absolutely no need to repeat another call-out in a setting that had nothing to do with MMA. Instead, Chandler said he wanted to use that moment in wrestling to call out the biggest name he possibly could within that sport. That's why he called out Jordan Burroughs. It made sense to him, it fit the event, and it allowed him to stay in the spirit of the competition. Calling out Conor in that environment, he said, would have felt forced, repetitive, and unnecessary. He laughed at the idea that fans were expecting it, saying he knows many people were waiting for that dramatic moment, but it simply wasn't going to happen. He closed his message by reaffirming his confidence that he will fight Conor in June, saying, "God bless, see you at the top." Move on to another news. Arman is making some big claims about the UFC's original plan for the lightweight division, and according to him, things were already lined up long before the public found out. Arman said he knew that the UFC wanted to book Ilia versus Paddy Pimblett for January, even before any of the recent chaos unfolded. He explained that he didn't expect anything to change, not even if he had knocked out his opponent, because in his mind, the UFC had already set everything in motion behind the scenes. But with Ilia now out for the entire first quarter of 2026 due to personal issues, the UFC decided to pivot. Instead of Ilia versus Pimblett, the promotion shifted gears and booked Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje for the interim lightweight title. Arman said he wasn't surprised the UFC didn't give him the title shot, because in his view, the organization has a bigger plan at play, a plan centered around building Pimblett into a major star. Arman claimed the UFC is trying to create a massive matchup, something they can promote as heavily as they once promoted Khabib versus Conor. He believes they see Paddy as the perfect personality to push into superstardom and want to pair him with Ilia, who already carries the credibility of being a champion. According to Arman, the UFC knows this matchup would be huge, and that's why they're protecting it. He went on to say that he doesn't buy the explanation that Ilia's withdrawal was only due to family issues. In his mind, this is all part of the UFC's strategy to build anticipation and line things up for a blockbuster event in 2026. Arman also said that even if Pimblett wins the interim belt, the UFC understands that he, Arman, is the most dangerous contender in the division. He believes that's exactly why they didn't offer him the title shot, because they know he could beat absolutely everyone. Arman didn't hold back when assessing the competition. He stated confidently that Pimblett is easy work for him. He said Ilia is also easy work, while Islam was the only fighter he ever considered hard work, and even he is now gone from the division. Arman finished by saying that nobody currently in the lightweight division is on his level, and he feels he's being strategically kept away from the title picture, because the UFC knows how dominant he can be. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall is now openly accusing Cyril Gane of cheating on purpose during their fight at UFC 321, and his tone has completely changed since that night. Heading into the matchup, there didn't seem to be any real tension between the two heavyweights. But once their controversial fight ended, everything shifted dramatically. The bout was stopped after Aspinall told the referee he couldn't see due to severe eye pokes. And while much of the discussion centered on whether he should have continued, Aspinall is now bringing a different angle to the table: intent. In a recently posted video, Aspinall said that while he didn't initially think much of the first poke, everything changed once he rewatched the fight. According to him, it became clear that Gane had his fingers extended toward his eyes in nearly every dangerous exchange. Aspinall said the footage shows a pattern, not an accident, claiming Gane was trying to compromise him from the opening seconds. He insisted the repeated eye pokes looked deliberate, saying Gane was cheating from the first second, and that the way he wanted to win was by leaving Aspinall unable to continue. Aspinall even encouraged fans to look at the clips themselves, confident that the visuals back up his claim. He argued that Gane consistently reached forward with outstretched fingers whenever he was under pressure, creating multiple situations where his hands were aimed directly at Aspinall's eyes. However, not everyone agreed with Aspinall's assessment. Ben Askren reacted by calling the comments so whiny, adding that the accusation was a bad look for the heavyweight champion. Askren seemed to believe that Aspinall was being overly emotional and reading too much into what he viewed as accidental fouls. Now the attention turns to how Gane will respond, with Aspinall accusing him of intentional fouls and framing the incident as cheating. The tension between the two has escalated, and future interactions between them may look very different moving forward.